Good morning. It's Deacon Don again, and it's Friday, July 16th, 2021. And my reflection today is relatively short because it's a relatively simple message. And if the message is the power of doing good. All of us have many stories about people who do good, and I'm not going to go through a whole bunch of them, but I am going to do one. This past June, I think it was June 23rd to be exact, last month, there was a postman in Zelienople, who happened to notice that the mail was beginning to back up on this one gentleman's porch. There were newspapers around. There were some packages as well, and he became very concerned about the occupant. It's not that he got to know him real well, but he knew who he was. So the police were called, the EMS were called, and the fire company were called. And sure enough, when they got into the house, the gentleman had had a heart attack, and he was unconscious on the second floor. Don't know how long he was in there. Don't know how long before they were able to get to him. But he was still alive. They took him to the hospital, and last I heard, he was in Presbyterian Hospital, and holding his own. I don't know the last status of, what had happened, and I'd like to try to find out. But the point is, the postman did a simple act of goodness. It's regular people doing simple good things, creating God's place here on earth, while preparing for God's place in heaven. Brothers and sisters, whether we realize it or not, we were all created for a purpose. We really are. Some things are, large. Some things are very simple. Some things are just an act of love for one another, for somebody who needs it so badly. When Jesus was on this earth, he went about doing good. He tried not to do anything else but good. And sometimes he got into trouble for that. And sometimes we'll get into trouble for that, but we have to ignore that. Because doing good is the main purpose of what we do for each other. One of my favorite writers is John Henry Cardinal Newman, and he wrote this. I'm going to read this. Help me spread thy fragrance everywhere I go. Let me preach as you would preach, not by words, but by my example. It's pretty powerful. Very simple things. And I have just a little prayer for all of us to keep us in that frame of mind every day when things get difficult. And that prayer is, Lord, let me be a blessing. When you go home and there's frustration at home and there's arguments, what you need to say to yourself is, Lord, let me be a blessing. When you go to work and things are difficult, Lord, let me be a blessing. When you have to meet with people that you would rather not meet with because it's difficult, Lord, let me be a blessing. When you go to Mass and you receive communion, after you receive communion and you're kneeling, Lord, let me be a blessing is the prayer you need to be able to say. And when you think of how you can be of service to others simply by doing good, the prayer is, Lord, let me be a blessing. It's an easy prayer, whether you're young or whether you're old, and it will stay with you forever. It doesn't take very much, does it? A little bit of courage, perhaps sometimes, a little bit of effort, a little bit of care, and usually a little bit of time. But it means a whole lot of love to the person who receives it. Lord, let me be a blessing. And it comes down to this: the strength and the power of doing good. Have a good day.